Hello there, Tom here from the Run Testers with another running shoe versus. In this video we're going to be looking at the Asics Megablast and the Mizuno Neo Vista 2. Let's have a look. The Asics Megablast costs £210 or $225. It weighs 225 grams or 7.9 ounces for men in a size 8 and the drop is 8mm. The Mizuno Neo Vista 2 costs £150 or $200. It weighs 263 grams or 9.3 ounces for men in a size 8 and the drop is 8mm. The Megablast is the new super trainer on the block, following on from the widespread popularity of the excellent Superblast and Superblast 2. It's a running shoe designed to deliver a lightweight, responsive ride across a range of sessions, aiming for increased versatility over its older siblings. It does that with an FF Turbo squared midsole designed to balance a cushioned and smooth ride with a high level of energy return with each step. The Asics Grip outsole is built to enhance traction and control, supporting smooth acceleration and efficient energy use, and the engineered woven upper is both lightweight and breathable, keeping your feet cool when picking up the pace. The Mizuno Neo Vista 2 is a plated daily trainer for runners who want a blend of efficiency, energy return and comfort. The midsole uses two layers of Mizuno Enerzy NXT, a nitrogen-infused top layer for softness and energy return, and an EVA-based bottom layer for added stability. Mizuno's wave plate provides additional cushioning, stability, and smoother forward propulsion. In addition, there's Mizuno's Smooth Speed Assist, a technology adapted from the brand's racing models, aimed at promoting efficient running form and reducing overall fatigue during training. Durability and traction come from the X10 carbon rubber outsole, which is positioned to handle high-impact areas, and inside there's a removable insock that adds comfort and extra cushioning.
When it comes to fit, I ran in a UK 8.5, US 9.5 in both these shoes. For the Mizuno Neo Vista 2, I think the way the uppers fit and flex makes it one of the most comfortable integrated booty style shoes that I've ever worn. The heel collars look like they might not be long haul friendly, but actually I found that they are. I enjoy how the shoe feels on the foot for a midweight shoe as well, that's maybe even lighter for the stack. But the only thing here with this is there's a lot of flex in the uppers. It does move around a lot, so there's not a lot of structure, and that is one thing that maybe people won't get on with. For the Megablast, I found the fit generally worked well. I found the uppers light, airy, breathable. They were more racy than I got from the Superblast, and I generally liked the way these shoes felt on the foot from the fit. The midfoot secures nicely. Those lace lock laces do lock down and hold really well, so everything is sort of secure. Even though the heels have a race shoe kind of design, there is a lot of padding on the inside of those, and that delivers good hold and comfort. The only real issue I had was a little bit up the front of the toe box, where the taper is quite dramatic on the outsides, and that did lead in my early runs to a little bit of rubbing on the little toes. Not a lot, a little bit, and it did dissipate the more I ran in the shoe, so I don't know if the uppers sort of flexed. And I did do a 4.5 hour marathon test in these, and I didn't have trouble with that. So yeah, it's just maybe a little byproduct of them having that kind of snugger race fit. But I will say that's one thing to watch. If your feet are wider or you prefer more room to splay, you might want to consider going half a size up in the Megablast. I think the fit is good true to size in the Mizuno.
So it comes to fit of the Megablast and the Mizuno Neo Vista 2. I started with the Megablast because I had no real concerns with it at all. I've got my normal size here, UK 9, US 10 with Asics, same size used across the Asics range. I had a really good fit, enough room around the toes, lots of comfort around the heel and midfoot without the padding feeling oppressive or anything like that. Held my foot securely. Just stick to your normal size in the Megablast, it was all good for me. The Mizuno Neo Vista 2, I actually went half size down on my normal UK size. I've got a UK 8.5 here and it's still coming up quite big. This is a voluminous upper for sure. I would definitely go half a size down in the Neo Vista 2. You're getting a lot of space around the toes and this kind of booty style fit. You don't really want to have too much room, I would say. You want a fairly tight fit to make sure it's not, your foot's not moving around too much within that design. I'd say all round, the Neo Vista 2 doesn't have my favourite upper. It's quite a stiff material as well. Like, it hasn't really been a problem on any runs, but I do prefer the feel and fit of the Megablast, which I find a bit more adjustable as well with the more classic design you have on it. But yeah, that's the main thing would take away would be normal size was fine on the Megablast. I would go half size down with the Neo Vista 2.
So I'm a size 8 in the UK and I've got both of these shoes in a UK size 8. The Mizuno Neo Vista 2 I found to be pretty comfortable. It's plenty of space in the forefoot. I would say that this upper, this sort of booty design, the original version of the shoe had quite a flexible, soft upper, which I struggled to get a nice lockdown fit in, but I did find it more comfortable to wear. This is a bit more rigid, but it's still the booty design. So what I find of it is that it's a bit easier to get a lockdown fit in, but I do find that my foot sort of presses against sections of it that I didn't in the first one. So if you've got wider feet, you might notice that. I got fairly average with feet, so I've been absolutely fine with it, but I don't really like this upper material. It just doesn't really work for me. Other than that, I've not had any issues. I'd stay to my UK size 8 in that shoe. Asics Megablast, similar. Well, it actually has a little bit more space before the big toe for me, but I wouldn't suggest changing your size in it. It's not that much space in it. The upper is very comfortable. For my average with feet, it's absolutely fine. So I didn't have any issues with that at all. Nice little bit of padding around the back and a little bit on the tongue, but it's quite a thin tongue. It's a shoe designed for versatility, so they've tried to keep it lean in the upper, but it's very comfortable despite that. So I definitely stay to my UK size 8 in both of these shoes.
On to run test, and I've done about 210 kilometers in the Asics Megablast now, and I did about 50 in the Mizuno Neo Vista 2. So, I mean, that does immediately suggest that I much prefer the Megablast, which is the case, to be fair. The Megablast is a shoe I've kept on using long after testing, whereas the Neo Vista 2, after our review, it's not a shoe I've gone back to yet, but it's definitely a shoe that has some strengths to it. I really enjoyed my long run in the Neo Vista 2 during testing. It's same kind of enjoyment I got from the original version of the shoe, where you're getting a lovely level of softness and bounce and a nice smooth rocker on the shoe. So it just helps you tick off the miles a little bit more easily and enjoyably when you are doing long runs. And that's the main strength of the shoe, I'd say. This, for me, it almost feels much more like a souped up easy day shoe rather than a real super trainer, which is what I think the Megablast is. Like the Neo Vista 2 just really excels on kind of easy runs, easy steady runs, nice relaxed long runs. Really does add an element of enjoyment to them, but it doesn't really have the performance I'm looking for when I go to up the pace and use a plated shoe like this for more speed focus sessions. So going to do intervals or long reps at target race paces, that kind of thing. It doesn't really have the fast transition and the kind of punch I expect from a shoe that has a plate in it and some pretty exciting foams in there as well. Like it feels like it's got quite a ponderous, slow transition from heel to toe, and that's fine. It's enjoyable, certainly for easy and long runs, but doesn't give you the level of versatility that you do get from the Megablast, which I've used for everything, and it is, I think, the most versatile shoe out there. It's so good at fast speeds because of that light design you have and the FF Turbo Squared. Foam in the midsole is very responsive. Like, this is a big shoe, it's a bit blocky, but you really can run quick in it. I've done some sharp interval sessions in the shoe, long tempos, did a 1630 odd park run in it as well, and yeah, it always performs. And then it's really comfortable, stable, soft, cushioned for easy runs as well. Like, it's not a really soft shoe. I never found it too squishy, the Megablast, but it's definitely comfortable at easy paces. A shoe you can pull on and kind of just forget about. It's providing a nice level of support and comfort, but it has that range to go through the gears, and that's what I want from a super trainer. Like, it's obviously a fair bit more expensive than the Neo Vista 2, which I guess is priced in line with daily trainers, but I see a big stack like this, I see impressive foams, I see a plate, and I want excitement from the shoe, and the Megablast provides that across any kind of run. The Neo Vista 2 just feels like a really nice long run shoe, and that's fine, but the Megablast is also a really nice long run shoe and then does everything else really well as well. Did do a short run wearing both shoes at the same time. You can really feel the speed of the transition of the Megablast when you put them up against each other, and the extra pop you have off the toes. The Neo Vista 2 feels nice and soft and cushy, and it rolls through pretty well at easy paces, but like I say, the transition is just not really there for me at speed when I want to do fast reps in it or something like that. So it does end up a shoe that I'd have to use in rotation with a fast shoe, and for me that semi-defeats the point of having like a really nice super trainer in your lineup. I want it to do kind of everything in it, and the Megablast does that a lot better. It's a lot more versatile, comfortable, fast, everything.
Okay, so these are two super trainers, and super trainers is a term that gets thrown around a lot these days, but in reality it's a little bit of a vague term, and not all super trainers are the same as other super trainers. So I started the Mizuno Neo Vista 2. I really liked the first version of this shoe. It came out of nowhere. It was really fun. It had a plate in it like this one does. It had one type of midsole foam in it. Very soft. Nice and enjoyable for easy runs, fairly versatile, but I definitely wouldn't use it for anything like an interval session or anything like that. I'd more use it for a consistent pace run. This new version of the shoe, it does have an updated midsole layer in it, which is meant to be a bit lighter, a little bit more energy in it. And it is a more performance-based shoe than the first one for me, but not massively. I'd still say it sits in the realm of going out and doing a nice consistent pace run. For me, that would be if I was going out and doing a 10k run. Normally I run a 10k in about 50 minutes when I'm going out for a nice, easy, comfortable run. I might go up to like 45 minutes in this, 46 minutes, and that'd be a nice, comfortable place for it to sit. I definitely wouldn't say it's a shoe that I'd wear to race in. I probably wouldn't use it if I was going out and doing a fast interval session or sprints or anything like that. I'd say it's very much a shoe that's more for consistent, comfortable running, where you maybe want something that's a little bit more versatile. Sort of shoe you might want to take on holiday if you wanted to maybe do a few different types of runs, but you're not going to go crazy. So yeah, I would say it's very much a very enjoyable shoe to run in, but not a shoe that is particularly versatile in that super trainer world. The Asics Megablast, now this is very different because the Megablast is a very versatile shoe. It is it feels very light on the feet. You get loads of energy back from this. It just feels like you can do anything in this shoe. Easy runs, fine, but I probably wouldn't use it for easy runs, especially not for the price. I'd probably save it for if I was going out and doing a more consistent run. But you can go out, you could use this for faster sessions, intervals. It's a fantastic shoe if you're training for a marathon and you are training for a specific time in the marathon, so you have faster training sessions in there, tempo runs and things like that all the time. And you want a shoe that's just going to help you maintain that consistent pace. This is a very good shoe for it. But you could use it for anything, really. You could use it for intervals, fartlek, whatever you want, really. I actually used this for Loch Ness Marathon. I wasn't racing Loch Ness Marathon, but I did go out and try and maintain a nice, consistent pace. And I wanted a shoe that felt good for the full length of the marathon. I didn't want to be in pain by the end of it. So I used these, and they were absolutely perfect. I basically ran them at my tempo pace. I ran it at my tempo pace, which just under about 4:50, I think I ran it about, and that for most of it, and this shoe was fantastic for it. It was just smooth, it was just comfortable, it just nestled my foot nicely into the ground, but it's got a lovely transition, and by the end of it, I've crossed that finish line and my legs felt absolutely great, and my feet felt fine as well, and that's very rare after a marathon, especially one that I'm not running really quickly, that at the end I don't think, oh, we don't want to take these shoes off. These are fine. I felt very comfortable in them. So Asics Megablast, phenomenal shoe. So the big difference is that versatility, really. Although I would say that the Neo Vista 2 is better at easy runs. It's a bit softer and a bit more enjoyable. But Megablast is just way more versatile. The outsole on the Neo Vista 2, very good. Good layer of rubber across the whole thing, even though it's got a sort of cut out section in the middle where you can see that plate. But really good outsole on it. Very thick layer of rubber. And it's not the grippiest, but I'm not having any issues in it. Megablast has a very good outsole as well. It's not covered all the way across, so I would be concerned about this delicate midsole, but the rubber's quite thick and I've not had any issues on it so far.
Now, in testing, I've done north of 100 miles across a whole range of paces in the Megablast. That included the 4.5 hour solo marathon that I mentioned. That video is somewhere around here. You can find it on the channel to see how I got on there. I've also done some really fast 5Ks in it, right across the pace ranges, basically in the Megablast and in the Neo Vista 2. I've done less miles in the Neo Vista 2, probably around 30. And again, I said this in another one of our Megablast head-to-heads, so that maybe gives the game away early on which shoe I preferred most, but we'll get to that later. First up, a word on the Megablast. This is an excellent shoe that builds on the Asics Superblast really nicely, but you're getting a little bit more lightness, a bit more energy, a bit more raciness, and I think it definitely kind of upgrades the sort of marathon and half marathon racing and training potential. You can use these for both, I think. And I think runners who love a big stack and super soft and bouncy ride will really love the Megablast. It can handle a lot across the pace range. Personally, I find it a little bit sluggish at the slower end. It just takes a little bit more to get out of the shoe. I like a bit more snap even when I'm moving at slower paces. And at the top end of the range, it probably wouldn't be my pick, but for the marathon sweet spot, the Megablast I think really excels with a kind of smooth energy. It's really good kind of all-round roadie so that you can run for miles in. I can see people actually racing a marathon in these as a non-plated option and find there's enough performance there, but it'll also look after you as a kind of good safety net if things don't go to plan. It's a pricey shoe. That is one of the things about the Megablast, but it's one of those shoes that you could argue could replace almost all your rotation. Now, the Neo Vista 2 has me a bit torn. There are some things I like, some things I'm not so sure about. I love the way the shoe looks. The booty fit uppers are great. I think the shoe actually has good comfort in terms of the way it feels on the foot. I think everything kind of works well. You just don't get much support. I enjoyed the cushion and energy you get from the midsole. It's generally sort of cushy and a bit bouncy, more so if you sort of land further back. It feels quite light for a big stack shoe. I think it's got a pretty good pace range, generally speaking. However, there's one big caveat. For me, it's a touch soft. I wanted more stiffness and control, a bit more leverage, a bit more snap along with that kind of compression and bounce that comes from that midsole foam. So it kind of works on some runs for me, maybe more when I'm engaging the forefoot with a lighter step, but not others. If I'm landing a bit further back and it gets a bit wobbly, I think if you need stability and support, the Megablast here is going to be a better option. Now, I also put these shoes together for a side-by-side mile, and here is what I found. So, just done my side-by-side mile. I've got the Megablast on the left foot, I've got the Neo Vista 2 on the right foot. I think the first thing you really notice is just how much more kind of flexible and sort of roomy and airy the uppers feel on the Mizuno shoe. everything from those knitted uppers really kind of moves and flexes, creates a really kind of spacious feel up front into the toe box. The Megablast does have some room in the toe box. There's a little bit of a narrow tapering on the outside though, which can affect the little toe, so it doesn't quite feel as spacious. When you move back up the shoe, I think I prefer the sort of dialed in fit of the Megablast 2. It locks down a bit more securely and holds in and around that kind of heel collar a bit better. Everything in the Mizuno is just a bit more fluid, it's a bit more malleable, there's a bit less structure. So, and this kind of key sort of carries over actually into the way the shoe sort of rides on the foot, where everything feels a lot more slipper-like. So the midsole foam is so soft, it's unbelievably soft, and you can feel almost the foam moving in all the sort of different component parts depending on how you land. So if you land a bit further back on the heel, there's a real sort of softness. So everything is sort of moving a bit more with your feet when you're landing, creates a real sort of element of instability, I think, in the Vista that isn't as pronounced in the Megablast. You know, the Megablast I don't think is the most stable shoe, and there is a lot of softness coming back from the midsole, which really cushions the landings, but it just feels more reliable, a bit more consistent underfoot compared to the Vista, which I just think just feels a bit wild. To me, it just feels like a shoe that's lacking like a stabilizing element. It could do with a bit more stiffness, a plate or something in the outsole foam, in the outsole, rubber, just to provide it with a bit more of a kind of stiffer, more reliable edge to it. Basically, I think what you get from the Megablast is enough softness and cushion and enough bounce and energy in combination that the Vista sort of, it just over eggs the softness basically. So for me, I just don't quite get on with the ride. It's a bit too sinky when I'm moving slow, it's a bit uncontrolled when I'm sort of moving fast, and I think the Megablast just does this job better. It's feels like more shoe on the foot. It's got, I think, a bit of a wider platform, which some people may not like. The Vista could be arguably a bit more kind of agile, a bit more nimble. It can feel a bit sprightlier. It's a bit sort of flatter, lower to the ground as well. But I think overall, I think most people are going to get on better with the kind of consistency of the energy that you're going to get back from the Megablast 2. And I think it's better suited to a wide range of runs.
So my verdict on these two shoes, I don't think they're like for like. The Megablast is a very expensive shoe. The Neo Vista 2 is significantly cheaper. But I think it really comes down to the type of running that you're doing. The Megablast is by far the superior performance shoe. It can do a lot more. It's a really fast shoe. It's a really good shoe for loads of different types of training sessions. And I think it justifies the price because of how good it is at all those different things. The Neo Vista 2 is solid daily shoe, easy run shoe, and to an extent running a bit faster, but the midsole just isn't as poppy, or it's not as efficient as the Megablast, and it doesn't feel as light on the feet either. So really, I think if you really want performance, you want versatility, and you are happy to pay for it, the Megablast is by far a superior shoe in all of those ways. If you're looking for a shoe just to go and plod out the miles, maybe go and do a faster park run if you want, or something like that, you can't go wrong with the Mizuno Neo Vista 2, and it's considerably cheaper now because it's been out for a while and you can get it in the sales. So as a great daily comfortable shoe that you can use for lots of easier runs, it's fantastic. I really like this shoe, but it's not a patch on the performance benefits of the Megablast.
Verdict then, and this one's an easy one for me. I struggle at times with the super softness of the Neo Vista 2. I find it's a bit inconsistent underfoot. The Megablast delivers its energy for me with much more reliability, much more certainty underfoot. And I think as a result, it's a bit more natural, it's a bit more smooth. I think the Neo Vista needs a touch of stiffness and structure. It's that little bit away from being a good shoe, because the foam has energy to it, but I want it to sort of engage quicker and offer a bit of stiffness. And that is what you get basically from the Megablast. So even though the Mizuno is quite considerably cheaper, I don't think it has the same capability across the runs that the Megablast has. I'd get much more use from the Megablast. So out of these two, I think the Megablast is the better shoe. I think it commands the extra price, and that would be the one that I would recommend.
So my verdict is that the Megablast is a better shoe, whether you're looking for a super trainer to add to a rotation to do your speed sessions in, or even racing, or if you're looking for one shoe to use as an all-rounder. I think it does a better job of that. It is a lot more expensive though, especially here in the UK. So in the US, I would get the Megablast for sure. Any run I'd enjoy doing in the Mizuno Neo Vista 2, I'd also enjoy doing in the Megablast, and you get more range and versatility with it in terms of its performance at speed for me anyway. In the UK, it's quite a big jump in price though. This is always the thing we have with the Megablast. So there's been lots of these we've done comparisons, and I've liked the Megablast more, but I've recommended the cheaper shoe just because it's so much cheaper and the performance level is close. Now, I think the performance level isn't that close. I think the Megablast is definitely a superior shoe, so temptation is to pay the extra. But the Mizuno Neo Vista is not only much cheaper, it's also a shoe that appears in sales. And if you are looking for a shoe to add to a rotation, to pick up a lot of miles, maybe marathon training miles in particular, lots of long runs, lots of relaxed runs, it does do a really good job of those, and it is a lot cheaper. Like if you are just picking up one shoe to do everything in, I think it's worth getting the Megablast because it does have that extra versatility. But it's so much more money. Like it's always a tough sell on the Megablast because of this. And we're just comparing these shoes directly and not looking at other options. It's tough to say spend that much extra, but the Megablast is definitely a better shoe. If you're not going to miss the difference, I would get it. It's a more enjoyable shoe for everything. If you're not too worried about using this shoe for your speed work, maybe you have another shoe for that, like a carbon shoe that you use for racing as well, then the Neo Vista will do a really good job for lots of daily training at a much lower price. So maybe it'll be worth that. But yeah, certainly I prefer the Megablast of these two.
That's it from us on this Versus. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that little bell. If you're going to catch some Bloody Financial podcast, which comes out a couple of times each month. Thanks a lot for watching. Catch you next time.